let's crack on with Tuesday's stories. We jump back in with Tuesday's... which one? I don't know. Can we define Islamophobia, Josh? Which paper is this in?
This is in the Eye. Michael Gove urged to crack down on hate crimes against Muslims by adopting formal Islamophobia definition. This has actually been going on since about 2019, when the government indicated that that's what it would do. We are in Islamophobia Awareness Month. That's in November. November being a very busy month for moustaches and Trans Awareness Week.
Is it like Movember and Islamophobia at the same time?
Everything's just...
Some people are feeling they're being mocked, and it turns out...
That's a very good joke.
I'm going to say it again.
Sorry.
Mohammed Vember. Thank you.
Very good.
But anyone growing a moustache in order to raise awareness of prostate cancer might look as if they were actually taking the mickey out of people of Middle Eastern origin who are quite fond of moustaches. These things can have a terrible blowback.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe changing months for it.
Yeah.
So there's a recent statistic that hate crimes against Muslims in the UK rose by 42% last year. Jews, 49%. Not that it's a competition, right?
Might be some crossover
we
there.
win!
Might be.
Strangely, yeah, might win. Yeah, would be strange, that, isn't it?
And what would be particularly interesting, if you were to look at those statistics, would be to look at how many of the hate crimes against Jews were...
And actually last week it's been revealed that I don't know if you remember last week, but they were driving through central London, some cars saying that they were going to find Muslim mothers, bring out your mothers and daughters, we're going to rape and kill them, and those people are now not being prosecuted.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So that might
wonderful
be part
time
of
to
the
be
definition
Jewish.
of Islamophobia.
Well, let's look at this definition of Islamophobia they're talking about. They're saying Islamophobia, this is what the working thing that they're trying to push through.
Yeah.
The Islamophobia is rooted in racism and is a type of racism that targets expressions of Muslimness or perceived Muslimness. And the reason why...
What on earth is Muslim?
Well, this is this. I mean, first of all, it's not rooted in racism.
Yeah.
You could argue, yes, of course, Islamophobia is a type of prejudice, it's a type of bigotry, but it's not about racism specifically. So that's a terrible thing. And the idea that expressions of Muslimness or perceived Muslim, it makes it... It's like, well, what exactly does that entail? You really have to get down to the nitty-gritty on this.
Yeah.
And the IHRC, which is the working definition of anti-Semitism, that's like pages and pages worth of stuff to really give examples and stuff, because it's so complicated. And the same here, just this kind of like, this idea of expressions of Muslimness is way too loose. And that's what Michael Gove had a problem with, and that's why it's such a hard thing to define.
Well, I mean, I remember it's only about 20 years ago, Christopher Hitchens, there's still a clip on the TV, it's the first time I'd heard him, said, watch out for this, this new word is coming along now, Islamophobia, and you'll be all expected to obey that and to be careful what you say about this tyrannical rage, this bloodthirsty medieval... You know, he was really... he wrote a whole book about all the mistakes made by all the major religions, but he was very clear that you have to fight tooth and nail to maintain the right to speak freely in opposition to any ideology. It's not a race. It's not an unchangeable characteristic.
And also part of the increase in hate, they say it's risen by 42%, but the population is increasing. So there's going to be an increase even if the rate stays the same. And by 2050, it's projected to be the largest religion in the UK. But, I mean, all this Islamophobia, I don't get it. I mean, what have Muslims ever done?